The lizard is often taken as one of the places in Cornwall which has been very, very remote, and very much of its flora, and again others will talk about that in a more learned way than I can, but I do know that the mesembryanthemums that have been brought in from South Africa, and which people, that is visitors, love, and they get affronted when they see the local wardens pulling these things up, these big fleshy things like carpet with flowers like big water lilies, and they're all growing on the cliff. But the trouble is they are pushing out some of our smaller plants which grow only either at the lizard and sometimes in the Channel Isles, a few are unique to the lizard. And so what do you do if you're a botanist? You want to keep those things that are unusual, and botanists come down here from all over the world, and particularly to the lizard. The Botanical Society has excursions down to the lizard to see these things. And when you find that a South African intruder, beautiful in its own right no doubt, is spreading right across some very special thing which has grown there for centuries and centuries, you get a little bit cross. So I suppose I'm on the side of being very careful not to let the introductions escape very much, and to think of what they might do, because they they spread and they destroy other things. But of course every plant wants to be the top, I say the top dog, the top plant, and they don't want any competition. And I often think, and of course the very ambitious ones can almost spread across the world. They're so, I mean, one in particular that I've got, which comes from India, it's the Indian strawberry, which you're almost sitting on, is competing with the ordinary wild strawberries. And it's all over the garden. Many people say, what a lovely little plant, can I have a piece? And so it's spreading over lots of gardens now in Cornwall. And the point I wanted to make was, it is the way of things. Man has spread things himself, he's deliberately carried them, but apart from what he has deliberately brought across the world, things have found their own way across the world, and we ourselves have moved them from garden to garden. So you get a profusion. And of course a sort of conglomeration of plants, as there must be even here. I mean, many plants of Cornish gardens, many of them of course are very, very well known. They are plants from all over the world. So very difficult really, because what one person appreciates, another one doesn't mind so much if it goes. But I think that, I mean, there's certain changes that are going on that are due to climate change that we can do very little about, except cry if we see something which we think is so wonderful going, and others coming in. You might say, well, this is natural, we can't do much about it. But I think when people deliberately plant, as I think now what was it? I know they were planting at one stage. People were very upset, local people were very upset, and well, non-local people, various naturalists, they were planting rhododendrons, which are not a native species. I wouldn't say all over Bodmin Moor, but in parts of Bodmin Moor. And down in our valley, they were changing things quite a lot and planting things which wouldn't normally be there. I think you want to try and go along with nature and not bring in different soils and different plants. As far as you can, let things develop as they will. But nothing stays the same. I think when you get really into the, into the heart of nature, you realise that things are varying all the time.